What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe Wine, former host of Truck Night in America, owner-operator of ShopRat Metalworks. And behind the camera, once again, is PJ. I botched his last name last time, so we're not even going to go there this time. He has A10 Media. Check him out, look him up. He's working the camera for me once again. Here we have a very, very beautiful, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little proud of this baby, Y-Block. This originally was a 292. This isn't the original motor to the 54. In 54, the first Y-Block that Ford had come out with was a 239. So same displacement as a flathead, but obviously it was overhead valves, and they had changed the bore and stroke to get that 239. That block, the original truck, we found out was cracked. So, well, you can't have the original. What are you going to do? Well, we're going to make something really, really cool, really rad. So they happen to have another 292. That's the good thing about having elders that are, we'll call them pack rats politely, that keep things around. So we took the 292, took it to another machine shop because I had it. I didn't own this at the time. This is about a year ago. I'd already tore the motor down, took the heads and blocked them. We had some custom parts come in from Murmur Machine out in California, because they do a lot of like really high-end Y-Block things and stuff, pretty cool parts. So they have their own spec pistons from Day Pistons in here. 10-to-1 forged aluminum, 10-to-1 compression ratio, forged aluminum, chromoly rods. Let's see what else. The biggest stainless steel valves you can physically fit in these heads. To the point where I was so nervous, once I started reassembling the motor and the machine work was done, I was checking clearances because I just, in my head, I was like, there's no way this is going to work. But it does. Murmur's got it figured out, and we were able to make it happen. So this should be a pretty nice little horse compared to what it was. So this is roughly a 1959 Y-Block. Originally, like I said, originally it was a 292 cubic inch motor, 160 over. With that being said, it also has Murmur's 270 cam in it, so it'll have a little tape potato, a little chop there. It'll sound real nice. I think this motor originally was roughly 175, 180 horsepower, which is really funny because in 54 it was originally on the tag it says 112 horsepower. Then it got stepped up to this in 59ish, and now we've close to doubled that. I'm not going to say we did double it, but it's going to be close because even with all the other fun stuff, we went with Murmur's rocker arm assembly and their upgraded valves, so new valve retainers, all that fun stuff's been put into this motor. She has been spared no expense when it comes to the inside of the motor. Outside, I had to dress it up. We have the thinned aluminum valley pan, which gets rid of the factory one. And of course, as you've heard me talk before, the traditional, uber traditional hot rod is a name synonymous with old school hot rodders, Offenhauser thin valve covers going into the ram horn style headers. That was actually considered a header style manifold back in the day, back many moons ago, traditional hot rodders. That was a lot better because the original manifolds actually, from passenger to driver's side, it came off the driver's side. Excuse me, the manifold for the driver's side faced forward. So there was a crossover pipe that came up here and went into the passenger side manifold, and then all of it had to exit out of the passenger side manifold. So now we're going to have a true dual, header manifold style setup. And to top it all off, of course, we're building power. Since we had to have the trick stuff in this motor, we got the Murmur 4-barrel aluminum intake, naturally air gapped as it was. This is going to fit a little funky right now because the rags are down in there keeping bits and pieces off as I assemble the motor. She's going to be just beautiful when she's done. I actually tried something I never tried before. I've never used the product, and I'm not endorsed or sponsored by them, but Eastwood has an engine coating. I don't know much about it. I just know I saw it. I wanted to try it, and believe it or not, it turned out really good. Again, not sponsored by Eastwood, not endorsing them, just wanted to try the product, and I thought it turned out really nice. So the black isn't just normal engine paint. It's a product from Eastwood that I thought turned out really nice. So let's get to the problems of all this
fanciness. So I wanted to have the traditional Offenhauser valve covers. I had to have them, and they were salty. So the problem with this is, one second, let me grab these so you'll have a better understanding. Here is a traditional steel stamped Ford Y-block valve cover. How they were held on was just 2 studs that came up through the motor. It's a 5/16 nut, 5/16 stud, and then these were your oil grommets. They have metal in them. Your nut went, right down on top, and that was what held down your valve cover. Well, that's all well and good if you're using a factory stamped one. Let me put this away. But when you're using the Offenhauser Cool Kid valve covers, well, guess what? That factory grommet no longer fits. And Ford was kind of one of the few that used this. So it's not like you just have all these random style grommets laying around anywhere. I'm sure some old timer is going to see this video and go, you dumb kid. I know exactly where to get the right ones for those Offenhauser valve covers, or I know the trick for that. And hey, that's great. I'm going to show you what I did. And I still have to do the other side so I can show you in real life. We just basically ground them down, literally with a drill and a bench grinder. Took them down. They fit down how they should. Hopefully they're going to seal up good and tight on the Offenhausers. That way we don't leak any oil. But I have this side to do. So let's get it chucked up and I'll show you how I did it. Excuse my mess, because it's quite messy over here. So we have to double chuck it. So we get it in the drill. So we can spin it real fast. I want to go fast! So that's what we got here. Follow me! Now, some people are going to say this is a hack, and they're absolutely right. It's kind of a hack job in some people's opinion. And I would somewhat agree with them, but hey, it works. It's going to get us through, and I'm not going to spend, hours upon hours trying to find the perfect little thing. Woo! Uh-oh. My double duck didn't work. And I already know what everybody's going to say. Abe, how do you find anything in that mess? Normally I try not to be this way, but everything's been a mess since moving into here, so why not mess up consistency in the mess department, right? We're going to get it cleaned up here soon because this bugs me. OCD's kicking in a little bit. But it is what it is. We're trying to get through it. Much smaller. Look, now I said something, OCD's really kicking in. It's bugging me. It's bugging me! So you can still see the big one, no fit. Here's the one we just took down. Oh, so nice, I like. Now I would actually probably work that down just a tiny bit more. I probably will, off camera. But you get the point. Something very simple. It's still round, there's no edges. So that way you don't having like a little bit of a point or a hump in this piece, because it's very cylindrical. It fits down in the way you want. That way you get you a good seal and everything's good to go. You're not spending hours on end trying to find a smaller version of, like I was saying, there's a piece of metal down in there that helps keep pressure on this grommet so it seals up good and tight. So I'll do the other one. These can officially get bolted down. Get the center plate officially bolted down with the goopy goo or the gasket or whatever I decide to use, and then the intake. Then we're getting close to setting this bad boy in. So another little dumb thing, the little details, if you will, that I spent the money and had to get stainless bolts because I want everything to kind of tweak and match. And then Murmur, when they sent the intake, it's all cool, shiny Allen stuff. And so to try to keep that theme going, the nuts for the valve covers are going to be stainless. The bolts for the timing cover are going to be stainless. So let's shut up, stop talking. Let's get this timing cover off, put the seal in, because there's another wonky thing back in the day, is the crank seal had to come in from the back on these. So you physically have to remove the timing cover to be able to put your front crank seal in here, because it comes in from the back side. So this was a rough fit before you guys showed back up. It's all rough fit, it's been painted, so now it's time to do final actual assembly. It's a big hunk of steel. One of the other cool features that we did on this motor, again from Murmur, when we did the 270 cam and we were redoing this thing, Murmur offers a nice dual roller timing chain, which is something you didn't really have back in the day too much, you know, old school stuff. Now everybody's like, oh, whatever, Abe. It's kind of a standard thing on most of these older style V8s, but back then it wasn't. So had to upgrade once again. All right, we've talked about this motor enough, so let's work some videography magic, PJ. Let's fast forward to when this thing's done and setting it in the truck. Go. Let's just go like this. I don't even care. I'm pounding water. Stupid hot. If you're in Virginia, you know it's been hot. I know it looks like we're starting a new episode, but we're not, right in the middle of an episode, because I said, hey, we're going to get the motor together and we're going to put it in. But I've had like 20 side missions, and this morning was no different. I'm sorry, I'm fat, I'm thirsty, it's hot. It was triple digits the other day in this building. And then we had the bright idea, hey, before we get started today, let's hang some big banners up there on the wall in the 25-foot ceiling. So that was great. Yeah, a little warm. Anyway, let's shut up about that. Let's talk about the motor. Here it is, on the motor lift. All kinds of cool stuff. Everything's on and bolted up. Here's one of the side missions though. From 1954 to 1964, apparently there was 4 different motor mounts for trucks. I had 3 out of the 4. Guess which one I didn't have? The one I needed, of course. And I'm going to screw the years and dates and all that stuff up on this. But if you really need to know, John Murmur of Murmur Machine out of California has a video on it talking about it. If you're interested in Y-block stuff. It has to be, if I remember right, I think it's like a 57 to 59 T-Bird front motor mount, or like a 57, 58 truck mount is what needs to be on here to work with the updated style harmonic balancer. So I went to put it all together. I had forgot, and then Mr. Murmur had to remind me I needed to watch the video. So I had all the motor mounts except for the one I needed. So then we did this. and I couldn't find one. I searched for like 2-3 hours, couldn't find one. Called Mr. Murmur back, said, hey, would you happen to know where one's at? He said, Abe, I will sell you the one out of the video that we did on it. So I have to thank Mr. Murmur very much. I have to give him a big shout out and talk about him, because he was kind enough to sell us the motor mount, front motor mount that we needed, so this could finally go into the truck. Dumb little things you forget, especially when you're this deep into a project this long, and then you decide to move to a completely new location and machine shop and all the other nonsense. Anyway, so that was one side mission. Another side mission, the starter ring for the flywheel was chewed up pretty good. And we ordered like 3 or 4 different ones from different local parts stores. Motor mounts. And basically the sizing was just slightly off. And I think it's because there was 2 different ones. Couldn't find the right one, nobody could get me the right one. On a whim, I'm not sponsored by them, and you know, they're not paying me to say this, they just happened to get it right. Dennis Carpenter had the right one, believe it or not. Made in the USA. So we ordered it, it fell right, he did it, you know, fell right into place. As you do a starter ring on a flywheel. So there's been little side missions as to why this motor hasn't made it in any sooner. And then, come here, then a stupid deer decided to commit suicide on the front of Mrs. Shopwreck's JKU, which you can see over here. It hurt some things. It smashed some stuff. So now I've had to take the time to redo all that. And then, well, side mission for the side mission, I decided to just order more moto built. So more moto built. You know, I figured it was a good excuse to hit up my friends down at Moto Built, say, hey Bender, hey Dan, Hunter, hey, I need stuff. So yeah, side mission for a side mission for mission over here, and this and that, and the machine shop, and we're, you know, now we're building this crazy 455 Oldsmobile rocket motor for a customer at the machine shop. So yeah, anyway, how about we just stop talking, since we're like right in the middle of this episode apparently, because that's how this is going to work out. And let's put a motor in, shall we? All right then, let's go. Outro. We gotta do an outro. I know that thing's on, because you wouldn't be looking at the screen that way if it wasn't on. All right, an outro, he says, because it's YouTube. That's what YouTubers do. Like, full transparency, I honestly could care less about doing YouTube. I just don't, I don't chase that crap. When we started this project, we agreed to document the build, just because there's so much history behind this truck to our local area and what it means to the family and the Cross Junction / Frederick County / Winchester area. Scratch the crap out of it. I can fix that. It's cool. So yeah, that was the reason I had to bring in A10, because I get frustrated with doing the YouTube stuff sometimes, because I'd rather do the work. I want to work. I'm going to work whether that camera's on or not. So yeah, that was the reason earlier in the video I was like, okay, we're just going to fast forward to when this part's done, like to when we're doing this, because this is what I want to do. Yeah, motor is in. I'm stoked. It was a little tight. PJ actually had to get off the camera and help me, obviously, try to get everything lined up, and it all worked out. Thank you, PJ. This has been 2 years getting to this point, because all because of me and parts. Oh yeah, you got to remember during that 2 years ago time period, there were still some things that were a little wonky to get a hold of, but that's all right. Flywheel ring had to wait on, and forgot about the motor mount, so we had to wait on another motor mount. Murmur hooked us up, but yeah, it's just and then of course 7,000 square feet of stuff, and then life because deer get in the way, and wreck Mrs. Shoprat's Jeep, and then you do things for Hot Wheels and go hang out with Bender, and get to go do Stacey David's podcast. So I've just been blessed, and I'm going to take advantage of those opportunities while I can, because we don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. Big man doesn't promise tomorrow, so trying to make everything happen the best we can. But there it is. It's in. I'm stoked. I'm really pumped now. Like I'm now I just want to wire it and get it running. So close, but so far. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Like I was saying, if you haven't subscribed, really wish you would, or don't. I seriously, I don't care. I don't care about this YouTube stuff. I just do it just to document the builds and what's going on, and to show the next generation maybe you don't have to do things the way other people are telling you to do. There's opportunities everywhere if you just get off your lazy backside and go do something, put the work in. So, like I was saying, like, subscribe if you want to. If you don't, hey, cool, whatever. If you want to leave a comment saying you like it, what you don't like, you think we suck, we don't suck, whatever you want to say, I feel free. Anyway, there it is. We're going to keep doing this. I got side missions laying out everywhere, banners to put up, Jeeps to fix, Oldsmobile 455 rocket motor to build for a customer. Until the next time, peace.